let's move on and actually do something. Right? So instead of simply moving on, let's go through my file and count the words. So how do I read my file? Well, I like using the word line here for line in my file object. So that was when we opened the file, we created the file object. So I'm going to go through that one line at a time. And to try things out, let me just print the line. Let's give that a try. Again, testing if I don't give it a file name, so that still works like we tested it before. This time I will print it in, one that actually exists, and this is the Hamlet's famous soliloquy, to be or not to be, that is a question, and so on. So whenever I want to read a file, the first thing I do is just print it, just to check to make sure it's working. That okay, everything's going well here. So that was my little test line. All right, let's go through and count the words. So how might I count words? Well, if I'm going to count words, I need some place to keep them. So let's have a word count variable, which my count will start at 0. And each time I look at a line, well, how might I do this? Well, how many words are there? If I count the spaces in the line, so count, what do I count? I count spaces. And if you look at each line, you'll see there's a space between every word, and we always have one more word than there are spaces. Now, this isn't a perfect way to do things, but that will be the words that are in one line, and after I get those words, I can add that onto my word count. And at the end, let's for right now print words, my word count. Now, I know from having looked at this file that there's about 65 words in there, and let's see how we do. Okay, to-be.text. So we see we come out with 66 words, exactly what we were looking for. We're good so far. Now suppose I want to write out those words into a file. All right, so what can I do? We're going to do exactly what we did before, except now we're going to be writing. Okay, so we're going to open a file, and we're going to loop through it, and then we're going to now write to the file as opposed to reading from it. Now we do have to make a change in that. Before we were opening it for reading, and we're going to want to have that as opening for writing. And it would be good if I changed the words in there. Instead of printing, write my words. I can do I can only output a string, so I need to convert my word count to a string. Fix that up. So I will take words plus the string of my word count, and I will write that to my file, and then I need to close it. And it would be good for me also to close the original file when I was done reading from it. So file object dot close. Let's save it, give it a try. Open a file, to-be.text. Enter a file to open. I'll call it to-be-out.text. And the opening failed. Well, the opening failed because I have an error there, and we forgot to change this to a W. So I'll fix the W, rerun the program, to be.text, to be out.text, and it opened that file and hopefully wrote to it. So let's take a look at this. How can we check what was in the file? Well, let's open it up. And so we can just open the file up and print what was in there, and we see the 60s, the count of the words are in there.